Hi guys, Craig here from out there touring. Something a bit different for you today. I've got Darren with me here. Hey Darren.
G'day Craig, how are you?
Good mate. Going to do a walkthrough Darren's setup. I've said before, you don't need the bee's knees, the $100,000 setups, and it's about the experience of getting out here. Now Darren's done a lot of camping and we're going to do a walkthrough. He's going to tell us what he's got first of all, his car setup, and also what he's towing. We've been out for the last 3 or 4 days.
Oh, it's been a cracking weekend. We explored a bit of our backyard, really, isn't it, that I've never been into before.
Yeah, so Darren sent me a message on Facebook and asked if I'd like to tag along, and I had no plans, and he had an itinerary set out which looked really cool, so jumped on board. First of all, what do you drive?
I drive a Land Rover Defender. They have a cult following, and I've been passionate. This is my second Land Rover,
Right.
and I've owned them for 25 years now, I guess.
And what's the appeal?
I don't know. They break down. They're unreliable. I don't know what the appeal is, but they're a great car. I think that they were one of the first cars that kind of opened up the country.
Yep.
The Snowy River scheme, they had them in for that, and Len Bedell had them when he opened up the centre of Australia. So I've always, as a kid, seen them, wanted them, got one, got another one.
Right. So we'll do a walkthrough of that shortly, or just a quick rundown of that. And what's the setup behind us?
Okay, that's a Conqueror. They're a South African camper trailer. Their claim is that they'll go anywhere your four-wheel drive goes. I looked around when I was looking for a camper trailer, kind of thought I wanted something a bit more, I was looking more for something to detach. So that, because I had the camper, the Land Rover all set up with a awning, and it had tents that came off the awning and cooking that came out of the back of the camp, like the Land Rover.
Yep.
But then when you set up, you couldn't go and do the
Yeah,
tracks.
fixed location.
Yeah, it was fixed for the weekend. And after a while, that was fine. But then I thought I kind of need a base so you can set up for the weekend and then take the Land Rover and do some challenging
Bit of
tracks.
discovery and find out what else is out there.
Yeah, exactly. And some places where you can't really take the camper, but you can go out there and then come back and everything's set up so you can have a feed and have a sleep. Yeah.
Now, I've watched Darren over the last couple of days set this up. It's a big unit, and one of the hills that we've just gone up to get to this camp had its little challenges, but it really takes no time to set this up. I'd say 15, 20 minutes.
Probably. A lot of people, Craig, as you know, have that conversation about, it takes me 3 minutes to set up, or it takes me 7 minutes to set up. But I'd challenge anyone to go, but does it really? Because when you're camping, like me, I'll set up the basics, but then I'll walk around and I'll tweak a guy rope here. I might put in another peg there, or I might put down a wall if it's a bit windy. I might take up a wall if I want the sun to come in. So I think camping's not really about the 7 minute setup. It's about the experience over the whole weekend.
Yeah, and you can have that experience because, as you said, you can take the car off and go wherever you want, come back to a base.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So what we'll do, just do a quick little walk around of some of the features that's both in the car, or what he's done to the car, and then we'll have a look through the
Conqueror.
The Conqueror. Darren's going to tell us a little bit about the Land Rover Defender.
Yeah, it's a passion. I don't know if it's a good passion, but yeah, a continual, what I call it my passion project. This is a 2001 TD5 Land Rover Defender. It started its life as a wagon. It's got a long-range fuel tank in it, so it can carry 130 litres, which is about 50 more than the 75, whatever they usually have. I added a winch. It's got bull bar driving lights so that I can go out day and night if I want to. And I do a lot of country driving at night, so the spotties are really good for that.
Yep.
And with a winch, it gives you a bit of confidence. You think, I can do that track because if I can probably get back if I can drag myself up there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If we
What size motor they got in them?
a TD5, which is I think a 2.5 litre.
Yep.
I could be wrong, but that's what I believe it is. It just plods along. I'm not going to be the fastest car on the road, but I reckon it gets me there and gets me home.
That's all you want. Auto, manual?
Oh, it's a manual.
Yep.
5-speed. And then it's old-fashioned. It's got the gear lever, And then it's got this other lever right next to it that you use to engage. It's a constant four-wheel drive, so you're always driving in four-wheel drive high. So the drivetrains to front and back wheels are always in motion, and then you can lock it into four-wheel drive low, and that gives you a bit more torque. And then, like today, when we did that challenging track, I'm trying to tow the camper up there, and it got a bit shaly, and I lost traction.
Yep.
We then diff lock, and so you move the lever over, and you can diff lock high and low, and then that gives you that down low power which we needed. And I put into diff lock first gear and crawled up that hill rather steadily, just keeping that forward motion, nice controlled, very slow, and got able to get up the hill, which is what I'm about.
And I noticed as I did a quick little walk around, you got a few special bits of panel work done.
Yeah, they're love kisses, and the Defenders have that. And like, there's a bump on the side when someone was learning to drive, and you know, they hit a cactus, or there's another bump on a Defender where someone said, "I'm just going to chop this tree down. It'll be right. Don't move your car," and boom. And then yeah, there's a few other little bits and things, but it's like an old tattered old book for me. These are all history and stories and adventures that the car's been on, and yeah, each one has a special meaning for me. It's a work in progress. I will get some of them fixed, but it's a passion project. I think Defenders are constantly being modified, repaired, fixed. They
Now, I
break
think
down.
you said that it started off as as a wagon or something?
Yeah, it started off as a general 110 is the model number wagon.
Yep.
But if you want to scoot around to the side, and we can have a look at what,
See what changes.
conversion looks like.
No dramas. Right, so Darren's going to give us a little bit of a rundown. I think the body of the car's taken a bit of a transformation.
Yeah, so the Defenders are like a Meccano set. With that, you can bolt bits on and bolt bits off, and you'll see when they make it. This is a 110, which is a 110 axle to axle body frame. They do come in a 90, which is shorter, and you can get a 130, which is clearly bigger.
Yep.
But you can get them in a ute, you can get them in a wagon. This one here has the dual cab, so it's the dual cab pickup, or they call it a crew cab pickup, which has got the 4 doors, a crew cab thing, and then this has got a frame at the back which is just made a canopy, so you can use it like a ute. The payload in it's not very big, so as for if you're a tradie, it's not real practical for that. But for my needs, you can throw firewood, your swag, your fridge in here, and then you've got yourself a little space where you can just tuck everything out of the way, and it's good for camping, good for my requirements anyway.
What we might do, might just, if it's all right by Darren, might just flick through the inside and see what the what modern technology the Land Rover has.
I think Land Rover and the words modern technology should not be in the same sentence.
Oh, there you go. Let's see what behind the steering wheel looks like.
I'll show you what it's like.
So here we are. What would you like to tell us about driving the beast?
Yeah, it's an adventure. It's a tactile vehicle. You can feel the road. Like I said, you've got the gear levers here. There's no push button to engage anything. Yeah, engage it by moving the levers. It does have power steering, air conditioning, but that's about it. It does have, I love this. This is my favourite, is you've got vents at the front. So you pull the lever, and then you can open the vents generally. There we go. And that opens the vent to bring fresh air in from out the front.
Modern day air conditioning.
You're not wrong.
And if we look around, the luxury of the lucky people who get to sit in the back.
Yeah, a few people sit in the back. I've got a lot of gear in there, tools, which every Land Rover you look in, you'll see there'll be a tool bag or a toolbox or some sort of tool things in there. Like I said, it's a passion project, it's a journey, it's on its way. Where? I'm not sure.
Now, a lot of people, younger people,
Yeah.
would probably ask, what's this?
Ah, see, that's just, we can't tell them. That there is the side vehicle air conditioning. So if you move that lever, it allows air to come in the side. There you go.
The old
Look at that.
wind down window.
I know, but I love it. It's a tactile experience, and I love it.
So we're now just going to do a walk around what I'm going to call the beast. Darren, what's its proper name?
The beast, it's a Conqueror, Conqueror Campers. They're out of South Africa. This is the UEV 440, which just means it's the shorter one. There's a 490 that has a door here,
Right.
and so they've stretched it that much, but this one has access in through the back. And yeah, it's just a nice little compact unit. It's sort of, I looked at campers when I wanted to get something, tick the boxes for me, that it could go anywhere I sort of needed to go.
Yep.
It was easy to tow. And then it's got the cooking. I wanted more of a camping experience, so everything you do is outside. We'll have a look at the other side in a minute.
Yep.
There's the kitchen. It's got a Foxwing awning on it, which is different to the awnings they come with, and it works. It's a quick and easy setup. The top pops up, so it gives you more space inside.
You can stand up in there. I was saying a bit earlier.
Yeah, so you can walk in there, which gives, I think it's an interesting part. I like that, because if it is raining, you can get inside, you can get changed.
Yep.
You can sit in there and read a book or watch a bit of TV or watch some YouTube channels, which is what I spend a lot of time doing.
Yeah, right.
And that way you kind of can be out of the weather, but then if it's great, you're outside.
And how long you had this one for?
A couple of years. Yeah, about two and a half years.
Okay. And I've seen you've got a front area there that folds out.
Yeah, this right behind us folds down too. That can
Okay.
fold down to create like a double bed here.
Yep.
And then this area at the front folds out, and that creates the bed you'll see on the inside, that creates a nice big sleeping area at the front of the camper.
How many can you sleep in this?
Comfortably 4, so 2 couples if you wanted
Yep.
to, or parents and a couple of kids can sleep on the side or wherever you want. Yeah, it's a really comfortable space. Again, it's not designed like a caravan to live inside.
Yep.
You crawl inside and you go to sleep. If the weather's inclement, you can get in there away from it. It's a camper, and so when you're camping, you spend most of your time outside.
Roughly, without all your accessories, and Darren's added a bit to this, would you know what weight they were when they came out?
Yeah, they're 1,300 kilos,
Yep.
curbside weight, and then depends what you've obviously got on them, but that's what the basic weight of them
Right.
are.
So what we'll do now is, might just duck around the other side. I think there's a kitchen on the other side,
Yeah, got a kitchen.
and then we'll have a look inside, if that's all
Sure.
right.
Yeah, let's have a look.
So we're now on the passenger side, or I suppose with any camper, people call it the kitchen side.
Yeah, yeah.
And I noticed that you've got a slide-out kitchen.
Yeah, it's a freestanding slide out, so which means it's just on rollers, so you slide it out, and this is space for the fridge, and I've got a dual zone freezer fridge.
Yep.
From Engel there, and then you've got your cooker in here, so that's just a 2-burner gas stove.
Yep.
Conqueror Campers come with a full kitchen, so in the drawers when you buy it brand new, it has all the stuff you need in it. There are glasses, plates, bowls, cups, mugs, everything that you need to drive away and start camping. And then in the second drawer, you've got all your knives and forks and spoons. So it comes with a full set of cutlery, which just slots into its own spot there. I've added the other bits and pieces I
Yeah.
need for cooking, like your egg flips, your knives, your egg beaters, because you always need them when you're camping. But there's space there, but it comes with a full kitchen setup, so you don't even have to buy a plate or a cup to go camping on your first trip.
So everything in here, even in the cups and drawers, has its own housing, I suppose. So it's secure, anti-vibration, doesn't bounce around.
Yeah, well, today, Craig, we've been on a couple of bouncy roads, and we
Yep.
saw a bit of action trying to go up some hills and things, and they were all dirt roads with corrugated surfaces, and all of these plates still sit snug in their spot. So I've got some glasses here for when you need a sensible drink in the evening.
Yep.
They haven't broken
They
on
haven't
the
broken.
roads we've been on today.
Hot and cold water.
Yes, it comes with a diesel heater, which will give you hot water.
Yep.
So the kitchen just becomes this little bit at the end. You've got 2 tubs. You can fill them up, do your washing, rinsing, or just I usually washing one, then stick them in there to dry. And then when you're done, you just take that and sensibly put it at the base of a tree or somewhere. And then the hot water is a system. You push a button and shortly you get hot water.
Nice.
And then you can use it for washing up. It also has points at the side and at the back where you can plug in a shower, so you
Yep.
can shower. The other thing is there's a lever, and you can turn that, and then you'll have hot air, so you can heat the internal cabin if it's a really cold place you're camping, which might become useful when I go to the Victorian High Country.
Been asking lots about the Victorian High Country. So out of all this stuff, and it's got everything you could ask for, I'm looking at the kitchen and there's not a pantry.
There isn't a pantry. Well, I've got a news for you, Craig. It does have a pantry.
Well, there you go.
And before you leave home, you can fill it up with all your bits and bobs, you know, whatever you like to cook, your spices, salt, pepper, all those other things. I usually have a bag here with fresh fruit and veg in it, the potatoes and so on. And it's convenient. It's right here where you're cooking. You've got this nice little drop-down tray. This forms another table here, so you've got another surface that you can prepare food on.
Yep.
But I think with Conquerors, all Conquerors come with a bar.
There you go.
So I haven't stocked it for this trip.
Yep.
But generally you can have this stocked with all of your spirits, your wines.
Bourbon.
Exactly. And it's a standard feature of any Conqueror is they'll all have their own bar, and it can be stocked with the stuff that keeps us sane.
Does it come stocked when you buy it?
No, it doesn't. But it's one of the hidden secrets of a Conqueror, which I kind of like. Although, if I hadn't known, I would have stocked it before we went away this weekend.
No, that's fine. So there's plenty of space in here, plenty of storage for long trips.
Yeah.
You can take plenty of groceries with you, and you've got all your cooking preparation area as well.
Yeah, that's what the key thing. I was living out of the car before got this and had everything attached to the car with the Fox wing and all the add-ons and the cooking out of the back. But for a long trip, that's not sustainable for long term.
Yep.
And so I looked at, do I get a canopy for the car or do this? And this is great. You can set it up for long trips and you've got everything here you need.
What we'll do now,
Let me show you what the inside's like.
too easy. I noticed when you set up, you had a tailgate, I suppose.
Yeah, it's one of the fun things about the 440 is to get into it. It's like walking into Star Wars. Because the back opens down and opens up.
Yep.
And then this is how you get into the camper, which is pretty good. On the side here is all the controls. You got tells you what power you're running. It's where you've got your switches to turn on your water and your other bits and pieces. So control central's there.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is the inside. When that folds down, this becomes the foot of the bed, and so you can sleep two people comfortably in the size of a double bed.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
then you come up here. This is the main fold out at the front.
Yep.
And so that's like a queen size bed, heaps of space. It's really comfortable. It's like climbing into a tent or a cubby or a swag because it's all covered in canvas.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it. This here is a nice feature. This is the inside of the pantry. And so if you're in here at night time and you want a snack or you want to get something out of the pantry, you can access there and you get your bickies and your cheeses and chocolates for your midnight snack if you need it. The other thing that it's great for, and I've used this, is that you can have it open to let wind, like the air through.
Yep.
And if you're in the kitchen and you're preparing tea or doing lunch or something, you can have the kids and the family in here and you can see them talk, move through here and talk to them. Also up front, on the side of the bed,
Yep.
those windows, they unzip so that you can be in there in the morning, you can unzip that window and your partner can pass a coffee through. So, I mean, what better way to start the day?
Perfect. And you got an open space here.
Yeah, some people, if they're watching this and they own a Conqueror, they'll go, what's he done there?
Yep.
This used to, in the Conquerors, just have storage. And they had a nice little storage. You could put 3 suitcases in here was their claim, and that was fine. But we didn't use it for storage a lot, so I cut this open and I put in a bit of a chair, and I find it's a great spot for just doing a bit of work. Now that we can be mobile with the work and work off-site and stuff like that, it's a great little workstation. I can fit a nice little table here, and I can do some work out, like inside, out of the way
away from the weather.
Oh, yeah, away from the weather and away from people, and it makes a nice little mobile office. And it's just a comfortable place to sit. Opened up the inside of the camper a lot more than just having this as storage space.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and because the top lifts up, plenty of room to stand up and plenty of space inside.
Right, Darren, I think that gives people a good idea of what they could expect, and whether it's one of these brands or a brand that they want to go out and pick, it opens up opportunities.
Yeah, and also it gives your viewers a bit of an insight when they watch that video of what we've just done this weekend, and they see this old Land Rover dragging this camper all over those tracks from Moonan's Flat to Nundle and wherever else we ended up. Now they'll know what it looks like on the inside.
Yeah. So guys, if you want any more information, to be honest with you, I'm not going to be able to answer your questions, but what I'll do is I'll drop a link to Darren's socials. Feel free, I think, to
Happy
reach
to.
out.
Anytime.
Man with a wealth of knowledge, especially on the Land Rovers and the Conqueror's done lots of work on it. So
I don't know, I'm just finding my way, but I do what I do.
we're all scratching, mate.
Yeah.
Just want to say a huge thank you.
Yeah.
One, for letting me film it and you talking me through the process, and also for asking me to come along this weekend.
Oh,
Thank
look,
you.
Craig, my pleasure. Thanks for coming along. It's been a cracking weekend. It really
Yeah,
has.
and we've been spoilt with the weather too, which is a bonus. I mean, it's always good to get outside, but we've been spoilt with the weather and we've been able to enjoy it to the
Some
to its
great
most.
locations too.
Yeah.
There's fantastic spots to go camping.
And we found a few more spots that we didn't stop at, so
Yeah.
there's future adventures coming.
I can't wait to get back out there.
Cheers, mate. Thanks again. Cheers.
Cheers.